All right, this is the most arduous, trying part, because drawing the square is pretty easy, drawing the rectangles rather, but now you got to fill them in. So don't scribble scrabble, just do small motions. Don't move your marker very fast. And honestly, pressing harder doesn't make it go any faster. Just slow down and breathe through this exercise. Don't make big streaks. Just make short little marks and don't move around real fast. Okay, so just short little marks. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't kill my pen by pressing hard. These make a mark just by barely touching the page. So just make small movements to fill it in. Small movements. All right, now, if you're like, holy cow, I just made these boxes giant, and well, then maybe you should have made them a little smaller. So they should be smaller than your pinky. So you might want to just do another grid real quick. But again, don't scribble scrabble, because, oh, look at that, it looks like a mess. So shorter, slower movements. All right, now every now and then, you might make a mistake that you can kind of clean up. But try not to make the mistakes. Move the marker slowly. Do not press hard. Make smaller motions. Your hand will be thankful and it'll look better. So instead of rushing and doing big fast marks, do slow marks. So I'm going to go ahead and fill mine on while I hit pause. You do the same. Okay. Again, one thing to concentrate on trying to slow yourself down and finish this shading is to concentrate on your breathing. Just concentrate on breathing in and breathing out, and breathing in and breathing out, and just stay in the moment that you're in. Don't rush to get onwards. Just focus on your breathing. Now the next step, so this is the curved one. They're kind of on a curve, looks a little dimensional. This one is a little bit flatter, kind of like a flat wall. I would recommend the flat wall to start with. Now you're going to pick on the black square, you're going to pick either the top, the bottom, the left, or the right. Doesn't matter, but once you pick, stick with it. Pick it, then stick it. So I'm going to stick to the right because I'm right-handed. It's more comfortable for me. Although, I mean, I can always turn it around. Now it's on the left. But then I got to stick with the left. What I mean is, this next one, I'm going to do the left. This one's going to be left. Now, it's going to be the same side each time for each box to be consistent and therefore create a pattern. That's what we're doing, is creating a pattern. So if you happen to turn your paper, now it's the bottom, that's fine. Just make sure that you stick with that pattern. So now this one has to be the bottom, not the left. Now that I switched it to the bottom, you don't want the left side, you want to do the bottom. So now I got to do the bottom of all of them. So I'm going to do the bottom here. Doing skinny little lines, so the marker's almost touching the line before it. And some of these smaller ones, you might not have as many lines as that. Like this one down here got a little smaller. So I should be able to fit like at least 3, I would say. Now if I went even smaller, like this one, 3 would probably be the max. Let's see if I can do 4. Ooh, I got 4. But then I have to do the top of this one. I wouldn't switch and do the right or the left. So now I'm doing the top. And if I happen to turn my paper, that's okay. But now I'm still going to stick with the same consistent. So now it's on the left. So that means I got to do the left on this side. So these skinny little lines on one of the sides of the black square. Notice how I have to stop once I reach the outer box. I'm not going any further. Don't do this because that belongs to this cell. So each cell gets one side with these skinny little lines. Be consistent. So I'm now doing the left side. So that means I would not do it here. This would be wrong. If I did this side, it would be wrong. Boo, I screwed up. So if you make one error though, don't do what I just did and scribble it out. Instead, just move forward and do the next 90% correct. And then people will probably never notice, oh look, I can only fit 2 in there. It's because it's too small. So you don't want to make these squares too small or this pattern won't work. So be consistent, make the lines skinny. Make sure you stay on the same side of the black square. I'm going to put it on pause and finish mine. Okay, now I have finished the one side of the black square doing the skinny stripes. And I'm ready to do the shading. So I need a pencil. All right, I got my pencil. And now I'm going to pick the side that I'm going to shade. You need to shade one of the sides that are adjacent to the stripes. So, and by that I mean the ones that either this side or this side, but not that one. So once you pick, so I could do that one. So adjacent, so this one, because these are apart, adjacent, touching, just like in geometry, adjacent legs, touching. So once you pick that you're going to do this side of the black box, you need to be consistent. And again, don't rush. Concentrate on your breathing, stay in the moment, and just do some shading consistently on the same side of the box. So currently I'm doing the bottom of the box. So I got to stick with the bottom of the box and be consistent. Now if you happen to turn your paper, that's okay. Now it's at the top, but now you need to be consistent and do the top of all the rest. So I'm going to do the black box, I'm going to do the top. So do above the black box. Above the black box. So obviously if you scribble scrabble on top of the solid black, no one's going to know, but we don't want to put any shading here. Another thing you don't want to do is stop short of the line. See how I stop short? Don't do that. Go all the way to the line and be consistent. All right, so again, now that it's the top of the box, I'm going to look at this next box and determine that this is the top so I can be consistent. So you can go in a row so that way you're not jumping around and having to go back and figure out what you missed. So just find, so now I'm going to go across, do the top of every box. Stay in the moment. Concentrate on your breathing. Don't worry about anything else, because the worst thing you can do is get up, walk away, and then you come back and it's facing another way, and then you go to the top. Whoa, can't do that. This would be wrong. So this would be the wrong side, because you can take a look at the shading. You want to be consistent. So if you stay in the moment and keep going and don't get distracted by anything else, you'll be less likely to make mistakes. So I'm going to put it on pause and finish all my shading. You do the same. Okay, so I think I'm done with my shading. So now what can I do with any danglers like this? Well, once you learn some other, patterns, you can use that line to do your next pattern. So you get to learn more patterns. This is a good starter pattern, but then you can use any dangling lines to create a new pattern that you can find in the Google Classroom so that it looks like it's connected. So again, this is called window. It's got shading, so it's dimensional. Looks like there's a window for every cell. And again, the benefit of doing it on a curve is it looks a little bit more dimensional, like it's curved. It adds a little bit more interest. And if it's too big, then the filling in takes forever. So don't make your initial grid any bigger than your thumb. So again, enjoy the window.